morning. I think we're live. Trying this again using the Mevo so I can be both on Facebook and on YouTube. So, how y'all doing today? Is it a good day? It is a chilly day here in the Black Swamp area, as it is in a lot of places around the country. And one of the things that we do when it comes to the winter time is we tend to hibernate. We tend to isolate. We don't want to be out in the cold. We're not out taking our walks. You know, the runs we make to get groceries or whatever are short, and we end up finding ourselves to be a little bit isolated. And that isolation, at least for me, it may not be that way for everybody, but the isolation makes my brain do bad things to me. And it convinces me that I'm more alone than I really am, and it brings about this feeling of just complete isolation, abandonment, and all of those other things that go on. So it doesn't help that it gets dark early. It doesn't help that it's cold. And let's be honest, y'all, it doesn't help that the world is in a crazy place. And the country is in a place that most of us have never seen in our lifetimes. I mean, we can go back to the 1960s with Vietnam and race riots and Kent State and all of those things going on. Was the last time that we have been in this type of place in this country. And so it makes us feel really alone. And the other part of it is most of us don't want to talk about what we're really feeling because we don't want to know how that is going to be received by other people. So what do we do in the midst of this type of feeling, this overwhelmed feeling, this isolated feeling, this feeling when your brain isn't being very kind to you and you feel alone? A few things. As you can tell, I rearranged my office. I needed to put myself into a place where I got more natural light. Light helps. On those days that it's gray and dark, light helps. Turn the lights on in the house. If you need to, get a light box. I've had a light box for about 20 years and I've noticed that it really does help. Find those ways to get yourself some light. Go outside. It doesn't have to be for long. 10, 20, 30, 40 seconds. It doesn't have to be for long, but step outside, get a little bit of fresh air. You know, there's this trend going around on social media of a thing that they do in Germany, and it's called burping your house. That no matter how cold it is outside, about once a week you open windows for 10 minutes to burp your house. I'm not sure what it does, but it's kind of been one of those fads that have caught on here. So a little bit of fresh air doesn't hurt. And I know it's cold and I know it's brutal and bitter, but a little bit of fresh air doesn't hurt. The other thing is these things can be an absolute nuisance and a pain. They can be more annoyance than they are good because we can't escape from the chaos of the world because it's right here at our fingertips, literally 24/7. But use it. Use it for good. Send a text, make a phone call, reach out to someone. I talked to someone yesterday I hadn't talked to in months, and we spent probably 45 minutes on the phone, and it was really good. It was a really good conversation to be able to reconnect and to have some of that time, just to not quite feel quite so isolated. They were isolated, I was isolated. It was just a really nice time to have some conversation. And I think in the end of it, it did both of us a little bit of good to have a little bit of connection. The truth is that winter is hard on mental health. It has been proven time and time again that winter is hard on mental health. Holidays are hard on mental health. Whether too much family or too little family, while you watch other people celebrate. The same thing goes when we get level 2s and level 3s and we can't get out. We're either isolated with somebody for too long and we get a little bit wearing on each other's nerves, or we are even more isolated and alone. So finding those ways to reach out and make those connections is incredibly important. It is good for us. It is important for us, and quite honestly, in a world that has become more and more isolated, especially post-COVID, it's necessary for us. We all hated being locked away and shut down and separated for all of those months during COVID. It's no better now. So be intentional. Be intentional about doing the things that you can do to help you. Be intentional about doing the things that you can do to stay connected with others. Pick up your phone or your tablet for good. Reach out to somebody, contact somebody, and don't just get lost in the death spiral of doom scrolling. Turn off the news, walk away from the chaos for a few minutes, and center yourself and ground yourself. Because in the end, you'll be better for it. We're going to try the annual meeting again this Sunday. Looking ahead at the weather, I'm not sure we're supposed to get a lot of snow, but it's going to be really cold again. So once again, for St. Paul folks, we will send out the Zoom link to you today so that you are able to join us in the annual meeting if you're not able to be with us here in person. Tomorrow morning, I am planning to start the morning out at the North Office, out at Bigby. So if you're out and about tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock or so, stop by, grab a cup of coffee, say hi. Sage and I'll be there doing a little bit of sermon work, but feel free to stop by and join in some conversation. I'm going to get off here. I've just got a warning that my battery in my camera is low. Good time to sign off. You all stay warm, stay cozy, don't stay isolated. Remember that God loves you, and so do I. We'll see you.